Ms. Legalista here. Thank you for joining. I'm back to talk about the DoNotPay app, which was supposed to be the world's largest robot lawyer, best robot lawyer. I don't know. They were making some sort of claim like that. And this is a pretty long complaint, but we are not going to go through the whole thing word by word by word because there are a lot of exhibits in here and there is some stuff I truly want you to take a look at. Some of the claims that they made, what they said they could do, and how this just even worked out. Now, if you saw the short video that I put out, they were only fined $193,000. Not that amount of money coming from the FTC, Federal Trade Commission, is not really a lot of money. So it leads me to believe that the Federal Trade Commission didn't really feel like they were intentionally trying to scam or defraud people. That was not necessarily what was going on. But obviously, there was enough that was going on for the FTC to feel like it needed to provide some sort of fine or penalty here. I want to go through this complaint, show you some of the exhibits so that we can be on the same page in terms of what to look out, not just because this was DoNotPay and claiming to be the first lawyer, but in terms of how you're looking at any of these apps that you choose to use that may come with services or products that you're buying, and to understand what you might want to look out for. The red flags to keep back there in the back of your head, the gut instincts that I tell you to follow all the time when you have them, that type of stuff. All right, let me click on over here. I like to say that before I get started so that I can just fill in the space there, so that we can take a look at this complaint. As you see, the United States of America before the Federal Trade Commission. Scroll down here in the matter of DoNotPay Inc., a corporation. Like I said, I'm not going to read this word for word. We're just going to try to go through some of the highlights here because this is a pretty long complaint. It says here, the Federal Trade Commission, having reason to believe that DoNotPay Inc., a corporation, has violated the provisions of the Federal Trade Commission Act, and it appearing to the commission that this proceeding is in the public interest, alleges, okay, well, yes, they're in Delaware, they transact business in California, in the United States, and they are doing things in commerce here. And obviously, I'm going to have some issues with me scrolling. Okay, summary of the case. This I do want to get into. The DoNotPay service is an online subscription service targeted to U.S. consumers seeking assistance with a range of commercial issues and legal issues involving American civil law. Respondent, DoNotPay, used the emergence of new technology like artificial intelligence, AI, as a marketing tool, positioning the DoNotPay service as a cutting-edge solution for producing legal documents. Respondent described the service as, quote, the world's first robot lawyer and an AI lawyer capable of performing legal services such as drafting ironclad. You guys, nothing's ironclad, okay? So these kind of terms and phrases that they're using. Ironclad demand letters, contracts, complaints for small claims court, challenging speeding tickets, and appealing parking tickets. Through a chat bot, subscribers would submit prompts or queries to an AI robot lawyer that purportedly operated like a human lawyer, including by applying the relevant laws to subscribers' particular legal and factual situations, relying on legal expertise and knowledge to avoid potential complications such as statutes of limitation, compensation limits, and jurisdiction when generating legal demand letters or initiating cases in small claims court, and detecting legal violations on subscribers' business websites and providing advice about how to fix them. In fact, the DoNotPay service was not designed to operate like a human lawyer in these respects. All right, let's talk about this service. Here you go. It offered a general membership subscription since 2019, although the cost of the general membership has fluctuated since at least 2020, at times relevant to this complaint. DoNotPay was charging subscribers $36 every 2 months. DoNotPay has offered a small business protection plan since 2021. Although the cost of the small business protection plan has fluctuated, at times relevant to this complaint, respondent charged subscribers $49.99 per month. The DoNotPay service has offered features designed to assist subscribers with consumer issues, including obtaining college fee waivers, creating passport photos, changing mailing addresses, claiming rebates, deleting accounts, donating plasma for cash. I'm so confused. And finding discounts. Y'all, this is like the Walmart of attorneys. Like, you can do anything here, apparently. At times relevant to this complaint, the service also offered features designed to assist subscribers with legal issues, including but not necessarily limited to breach of contract, demand letters, defamation cease and desist letters, divorce settlement agreements, restraining orders, insurance claims, releases of liability, revocable living trusts, lawsuits in small claims court, challenging speeding tickets, and appealing parking tickets. I'm telling you, this is like a full service kind of operation here. All right, so you could download this. You can see that the advertising there. So let's look at some of this. The robot lawyer. Respondents' advertisements called the DoNotPay service the world's first robot lawyer, capable of suing anyone at the press of a button. Look at this. It's in hot pink and purple. I think I like the colors. The DoNotPay app is the home of the world's first robot lawyer. Fight corporations, beat bureaucracy, and sue anyone at the press of a button. I'd have to put on my glasses to see some of this fine print. I can hardly see it, but it says here, by signing up, you agree to pay their terms. There's an arbitration agreement. And it says here, things you can do with DoNotPay: fight corporations, beat bureaucracy, find hidden money, sue anyone, automatically cancel your free trials. And then you have some of this in the press stuff. Down here, you see more about what they were saying, the world's first robot lawyer. And then Exhibit C from the Apple Pay Store, how you would download this. What can I help you with today? And again, the world's first robot lawyer, sue anyone. Exhibit D from the Google Play Store, where you would download it. DoNotPay TikTok posts. Look, sue anyone and get justice at the press of a button. These are all the exhibits. Robots are coming to replace lawyers, Devin explains. The origins of DoNotPay. DoNotPay's goal is to level the playing field and make legal information and self-help accessible to everyone. Okay, so let me talk a little bit about this piece, because that's usually the contention, the position, the mission, the vision, the value that they put out there to people. They say, hey, in the past, it's been really hard for people to have their day in court, for them to be able to find an attorney that they can afford, who understands their issues and that they feel a connection to. Because when you have someone who is representing you and your life is on the line, your freedom's on the line, your money's on the line, it's either you or your family, someone you care about, you want to make sure you are dealing with an attorney that you trust and that you can build a relationship with. And in this case, this is sort of what some of this technology or the people behind the technology would have you believe. We're going to be here for you. We're now going to democratize, I don't even know if that's the right word. We're going to level the playing field so that you get your day in court. And we've got this service now that if you sign up for, now you can beat the corporations. Now you can protect your assets. Now you have something here with you to fight with you, that kind of stuff. So it's all framed a certain kind of way. And you see that here in what's shown in these exhibits. So I'm not trying to beat people up, but I want you to understand the marketing that's going on here, the psychological marketing that they're using to get you to buy into this. If you felt left out before, well, guess what? You don't have to feel that way anymore. That's what they're telling you, y'all. The DoNotPay website has prominently featured a quote that purports to come from the Los Angeles Times newspaper and states, "What this robot lawyer can do is astonishingly similar, if not more, to what humans can do." In fact, the foregoing quote derives from a high schooler's opinion piece in the Los Angeles Times High School Insider website. Y'all, I'm just going to skip that. Okay, let's go to the law related features here. What can this thing do? Because I'm still trying to figure out that whole plasma piece and what that has to do with law. The CEO for Do Not Pay has claimed that the company's goals were, see, to be like the general counsel for the consumer. It's always the marketing, y'all, and to replace the $200 billion legal industry with artificial intelligence. And they've got some some screen captures, I guess, in here that we saw. Respondent has claimed that the Do Not Pay service fights companies and the government across 200 areas of the law. Respondent has promoted law-related features for, among other issues, breach of contract, defamation demand letters, divorce settlement agreements, restraining orders, insurance claims, releases of liability, revocable living trust, standardized legal documents, lawsuit and small claims court, speeding tickets, and parking tickets. Respondent has warned consumers against rushing to iffy demand letter templates when a breach of contract occurs, because dealing with legal matters without proper knowledge is not a good idea. Respondent claimed that the service's breach of contract demand letter feature would present crucial and necessary information and generate an ironclad and rock solid demand letter tailored for a consumer's case. So here's the thing: when you make all of these representations about your service or your product, you had better hope that that is what your service or product is doing. I've talked about the difference between making misrepresentations and fraudulent statements versus puffery, where you say, hey, we're going to be the best this, and we're known in our industry at being the top at this. You know, those kind of subjective statements, people go, oh, yeah, anybody can say that sort of stuff. But when you're very specific and you lead people to believe that they can trust what you're doing, then that's something different. So let's go to Exhibit G. This is why is a demand letter template not a good idea? You might be tempted to find a free demand letter template online and use it to draft the document yourself. Although it is a quick and cheap solution, it might be counterproductive because online samples and templates are generic and may fail to meet the requirements of your case. Well, that is entirely true. And so they've got some other information down here. It says hiring a lawyer is a wise option, but can be expensive. If you want to save some money and get a rock solid demand letter tailored for your case, you should use Do Not Pay. And it says here, here's where you go through. It says Do Not Pay helps you get an ironclad demand letter in no time. We will make sure to include the necessary information in the legal document, protect your interests. All you have to do is follow these steps. Sign up, choose the the breach of contract product, answer our chatbot questions. Look at that. Include payment, add photographic evidence if you have any. Yeah. All right. In conjunction with the demand letter feature, Respondent has promoted the service's ability to help consumers take further legal action by preparing all the necessary forms for a complaint in small claims court and creating a script with strong argumentation that you can use during the court hearing. Do Not Pay has promoted a feature of the service to address defamation of character. Through the statements and depictions in complaint Exhibit H, Respondent has represented that the subscriber could tell a chatbot about allegedly defamatory statements and the resulting harm, and then Do Not Pay's AI lawyer would help them drop a cease and desist letter quickly and efficiently, while the most relevant state legislation regarding defamation. Look at this. So here's what they say. Do Not Pay can draft a cease and desist letter. This is defamation of character lawsuits can affect reputation and impact lifestyles or business relations. So yes, that is how they were marketing that service. What can I help you with? So you type in defamation there. They've got categories. Tell us about your situation. Are you a victim of unfair and false defamation? I can help you write a demand letter. Look, libel and slander. Pick, and we will write it for you. All right. Respondent has promoted a feature that would enable consumers to sue for assault in small claims court without a lawyer. While it is possible to handle suing for assault on your own, it may not be the best approach. In many cases, it is easier to have the expertise of an entity such as Do Not Pay on your side. Yes, they talk about the stress of filing a lawsuit, suing for assault without a lawyer. How suing for assault is simplified with Do Not Pay. Again, so they're advertising for the services and products that they were providing. You can see it goes on and on. Add photographic evidence. Then they have standardized legal documents. And you see some of the types of documents: non disclosure agreements, leases, prenups, custody. Best solution for creating legal documents on your own. Generate perfectly valid legal documents in no time. Look at this. Do Not Pay has your best interests at heart. That's why we've created our standardized legal documents. You see the list there. Yes. It says, okay, let's get to 19. The service elicited few facts from subscribers utilizing the law-related features described in paragraphs 12 through 18. For example, if an assault victim selected the Sue Now feature, the Do Not Pay chatbot would have requested that the subscriber provide only a short phrase that detailed the incident. At the end of the chat session, the chatbot would have asked the subscriber to input any additional questions or concerns. Any information the subscriber might have provided, however, would have received the same irrelevant response from the chatbot. Thanks, with the subscriber's name. Once you set your personal details, I won't ask you again. You can update them anytime under the settings menu by selecting Edit My Profile. The service then would have generated a half-page demand letter with a phrase-length description of the incident, a monetary demand, and a warning that failure to settle could result in a costly legal judgment. Half-page? I'm sorry. Okay. Half-page. That falls under you get what you pay for, right? Do Not Pay did not test whether the service's law-related features operated like a human lawyer. Do Not Pay has developed the service based on technologies that included a natural language processing model for recognizing statistical relationships, between words, chatbot software for conversing with users, and an application interface. Okay. None of the services technologies have been trained on a comprehensive or current corpus of federal and state laws, regulations, and judicial system decisions. Okay. You get what they're saying here. Okay. Yes. Here's how they came up with how their AI would work, but they didn't really include like a comprehensive, corpus. It says they didn't include federal and state laws and regulations, judicial decisions. They didn't really include it. So how are they writing these letters and talking about law if they haven't incorporated the law into their system? I don't know. This is very interesting. It says, Do Not Pay employees have not tested the quality and accuracy of the legal documents and advice generated by most of the service's law-related features. Do Not Pay has not employed attorneys and has not retained attorneys, let alone attorneys with the relevant legal expertise to test the quality and accuracy of the service's law-related features. So let me get this straight. They didn't look at federal law. They didn't look at state law. They didn't have attorneys look at it, and they don't hire any attorneys. They don't have any working for them. But they're going to be the world's AI lawyer without the law or lawyers. Okay. Do Not Pay subscribers who use the law-related features have complained that the service did not ask them to submit information relevant to their breach of contract claims, failed to consider important legal issues, and generated legal documents that were not fit for use. Like I said, you get what you pay for, right? So then we have the website legal diagnostics feature. What is this? It's supposed to check a consumer's small business website for hundreds of federal and state law violations based solely on the consumer's email address. Okay, now remember that part where we just read that they didn't have like the comprehensive laws at the federal and state level incorporated into their system here? So how are you checking that if you don't have? These are just questions. I have questions. This feature purportedly would detect legal violations that, if unaddressed, would potentially cost a consumer $125,000 in legal fees. Well, how did they come up with that number? I keep wondering about that. Protect your business from lawsuits. Let Do Not Pay check your website for hundreds of federal and state violations, plus dozens of legal products to save your company time and money. Y'all, I'm getting tired just reading this because I'm just floored to some extent. Protect your small business. You see, yeah, well, we definitely would like for you to put in your credit card information. It says DoNotPay's website diagnostic tool did not, in fact, analyze a consumer's small business website for hundreds of federal and state law violations based solely on an email address. Look, it says at all times relevant. DoNotPay's website advertised that a general membership included features that could protect a copyright and generate a customized cease and desist letter for defamation claim, non-compete agreement, and residential lease when those features were not available. On or about November 16, 2021, the Office of the Chief Trial Counsel of the State Bar of California, the California Bar said, you know what, we're just going to open an investigation into the DoNotPay service related to allegations of engaging in the unauthorized practice of law. On or about January 21st, 2022, the CEO for DoNotPay promised the California Bar that DoNotPay would no longer represent that the DoNotPay service was the world's first robot lawyer. Nevertheless, DoNotPay continued to make this representation, and they have exhibits showing that. So the California State Bar sent a cease and desist notice alleging, hey, what you're doing amounts to the unauthorized practice of law. That's what it sounds like to me. They do the same thing I do, writing demand letters, working with people on small claims court issues. I mean, they're just not showing up to court, working on court issues. Yes, writing agreements. Yes. Okay, I do that stuff. So it sounds like the practice of law to me. All mentions of robot lawyer from the DoNotPay website, and their respondents said that they had removed this. Okay. All mentions of robot lawyer from the website and social media, all products on the DoNotPay website that allowed consumers to generate legal documents, and any mention of sue anyone from the website. Notwithstanding these representations to the California Bar, the DoNotPay website and social media account continued to promote the service as the world's first robot lawyer and advertise sue anyone. So they were told to stop, and they represented that they did, but yeah, they didn't quite get that far. So then there were false and unsubstantiated claims. Okay, so these are the actual counts. Okay, they were making some claims here that they really couldn't live up to. This is beyond puffery, okay? In connection with the advertising and all of that, it says respondent represented directly or indirectly, expressly or by implication, that its technology operates like a human lawyer, including by applying relevant laws, relying on legal expertise and knowledge, avoiding potential complications such as statute of limitations. And it says the representations were false and misleading and were not even substantiated at the time they were made. So then we had other false claims. You guys just look at these. It says, in fact, based on a customer's email address, the DoNotPay service artificial intelligence cannot analyze a consumer's small business website for hundreds of federal and state law violations and determine that the website is in serious danger of governmental enforcement action and save the consumer hundreds of thousands of dollars in potential legal fees. They said no, 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 no. Violations of Section 5, and this has to do with the Federal Trade Commission Act. All right, so let's go back through and take a look at some of these exhibits, because this is really, a lot of the information where they were pulling this from. So you see here, and it has the dates, the world's first robot lawyer, what can I help you with? And it has a list. Let me grab my glasses here. It has a list of all of the things. Fighting parking tickets, bank fees, I'm owed $500 plus wage protection, pet protection, some of the stuff they didn't even mention, military protection, robo revenge, price gouging, employee rights. That's a lot DoNotPay can do. I need to check them out. It's got some of the features listed here. Look, appeal toll booth tickets. Yes, they've got a full list here. Let's scroll down. Release of liability, got some documents there. In the press, we saw this earlier. Here's some more. Bloomberg talks about how the CEO talks about how his automated service helps people in over 200 different kinds of legal battles. You see, they've got some TechCrunch press here. Newsweek, robot lawyer overturns 4 million in parking tickets. Oh, I want to go back and pull that article and read that now. How has that weathered over time? All right, let's keep going. World's first robot lawyer. There you go. Enter your email address. Here's where you download it from the Apple Store. We already saw some of that. Downloading it from the Google Store. TikTok, some of the statements that they shared on behalf of Do Not Pay law. Look, they even had a person here. It says, look, founded by Joshua Browder at Stanford University, the chatbot was originally built to contest parking tickets, but has expanded to include 200 plus services backed by AI. I have some comments, but I'm going to keep them to myself. DoNotPay.com. It was a hassle for our employees to deal with legal paperwork. We wanted to automate these back office operations. Look, let me say this. There are definitely some technologies, some services and products that are out here on the internet that you can use and tap into that provide you with so much value, will give you so much information. And yes, there are legitimate ones that you pay for and you get something that you can use. Okay. So I am not shooting all of these down. We're talking about how some of this fell through the cracks with this particular one so that you can be aware of what to look for when you're out here doing your internet shopping for services and products that you're interested in buying, especially if you're interested in lawyer AI work. All right, let's see here. We have some other quotes. Look, what this robot lawyer can do is astonishingly similar, if not more, to what human lawyers can do. That was the one that they were saying, we're not sure if that was LA Times or not. Demand letter template here, information about that, all of this that was on the website. Exhibit A, defamation of character, lawsuit, other things that they were saying that they can do. Success, suing without for assault without an attorney. Additional information on how to do that. Generating demand letters. Yeah, they have a number of exhibits here. The best solution for creating legal documents on your own. Generate perfectly legal documents. NDAs, independent contractor agreements, bill of sale, non-competes. As an attorney, I've written or reviewed lots of these kinds of documents. LLC operating agreements or rules in this case, residential leases, intent to purchase. I don't do a lot of family law though. Yeah. So all of these types of services protect your business from lawsuits. Remember, this is the one where we're going to save you from $125,000 and get this small business protection plan for $49.99 a month. Appeal parking tickets in Denver, Colorado. Remember, that's how they said they got started. All right, so this is a lot here. And so you get a chance to see what they were talking about. So there is some sort of proposed settlement, I believe now that's where we are. Let's see if I can get rid of this. But you see what was going on there. So they're touting that they can provide all of these services. And number one, there were some questions about whether or not they could. And they're charging people subscription prices for services that may or may not be there. And number two, whether or not those services were any good. And number three, whether or not those services resulted in the unauthorized practice of law. The state of California went after them because they felt like it was the unauthorized practice of law. And I think you're going to have these blurring of lines as technology becomes available and technology is used to do things that we typically said you had to have a license to do. How is it that a technology can go into all 50 states, provide some of these services that if you were a person, you would have to be barred in all 50 states? Trying to figure out what the world is going to look like as AI is used to, sort of tell the world, hey, you're the general counsel for consumers. Anybody can have access to these documents and you don't have to pay hundreds of dollars an hour for an attorney. Well, there are a lot of questions about this. And again, not necessarily beating up Do Not Pay, but part of this is understanding, what really works in some of these situations and what's not going to work. And I tell people all the time, if the other party has an attorney, then you probably want to get your own attorney too. And I would suggest that your own attorney not be an AI attorney. Okay. All right. So I hope this gives you a little bit more information about what was going on with this whole complaint from the Federal Trade Commission about the Do Not Pay app and the services that it was the services that it was the services that it was saying I'm gonna have to delete this whole part out. And the services that it was claiming it could provide. All right. Please go ahead and give the video a thumbs up if this provided you with some information that might be useful to you or people you know. And don't forget to subscribe. Peace.